I like that I have no idea what the questions are going to be.
I know. I want to do that on purpose.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, hey guys, it's Doc. I'm hanging out with Chris from Zoe. By the way, I want to do some shots because you need to check out a lot of this stuff. It's freaking hilarious, and we don't have time to do that. So my question I'm asking everybody today, because you have a comic book.
Yes.
I hope I got that in a shot. What came first for you, RPGs or comics?
Comics by a little bit.
Okay.
Although I'm a much bigger RPG player than a comic book reader now.
Okay. Does one influence the other for you?
Sometimes. Unpack that.
Okay, we will unpack that, actually. So, when you say sometimes, and I want to know about the beginning, but tell me what you're getting at when you mean sometimes. So, you have ideas for comic books, and then RPG comes in? Because I want to hit the main thing that you showed me earlier.
I think a lot of the stuff that we do begins with more film storytelling just in general, and then whatever medium makes the most sense for that specific story.
Okay.
So some of the materials we do are live stream web series. Some of the materials, because we're on Twitch and things like that. Some of the stuff we do is short film. Some of it's more feature length. Some of it is live stage shows, like we're doing Friday at 4 p.m. It probably won't be done by then, but I'll say it anyway. And
it was a great show, everybody.
It was awesome. It was fantastic. We had so many people. They were great. It was an awesome crowd. Thank you. We'll be at Gen Con as well. But we have a tendency to kind of tailor which story belongs in which medium. Okay. And then sometimes things bleed over, like the film Attacking the Darkness that also became, that RPG that we were just talking about a moment ago.
So I'm going to bring it back because you showed me this. This is beautiful. Sorry, guys. I'm going to reach over and grab this. This here looks familiar because it's about the same size and about the same thickness as the book it's from.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So what?
That was deliberate.
What system is this?
This is using the Fate Core. It's the Demon Hunters, a comedy of terrors.
Okay. And why Fate Core over the other 200 tabletop RPGs?
In this case, it had to do with the flexibility of the system, especially with the way that universe plays out. Demon Hunters is a very wide-ranging and anything-goes kind of system, or game, I should say, world. And a system like Fate really lends itself to that kind of creativity and kind of outside-the-box gameplay.
Nice. So in this, coming back to my original question, what came first? The Demon Hunters as the movie principle, or Demon Hunters as the game principle?
For us, it was the movie. Nice. And then that turned into the game, which then turned into a comic.
Nice. Well, you guys heard it first. It's all connected. Hey, check these guys out. Seriously, everything that they got going on. You said you're on Amazon Prime now.
Yep, all of our stuff's on Amazon Prime. Zombie Orpheus Entertainment. We've got a Kickstarter for a thing called Strowlers going on right now, as well as a new Demon Hunters product that's also up there too.
Hey, and we'll see you. Everybody's here at Emerald City Comic Con. You're at booth
1704.
1704, just down the street a little bit. We're at 1812. Say goodbye, Chris. Say goodbye, Alex, who was hiding in the background. And hey, we'll see you guys next week. Doc back here, and I am doing my question and answer. I'm here with another creator, Lucas. Lucas does some really cool art. Come across here. He does Moose series, comic book, Battlestar. I'm getting a kick out of the Manly Merman thing. You're not keeping up with the video. You're killing me, Smalls. Alex is about to get fired and sent back to just illustration. All right, Lucas, here's my question.
What's up,
you
bro?
do this.
All right.
Number one, do you play tabletop role-playing games?
I do not.
Have you ever?
I have researched it, looked into it, but I've never actually done it.
Okay. So we got our first one, because the second question that I've been asking everybody is, what influences what in your life?
Okay.
So if you played tabletop role-playing games, or have you ever played video games, or anything like that, that you were like, this would make it great, I got to illustrate this, or this would make a great comic book.
Well, I mean, I played Pokemon card games, I played lots of video games growing up, so everything from Gauntlet Legends to Star Wars to all sorts of different things. Like Star Wars Battlefront has always been one of my biggest games, so doing storylines, not necessarily about like the main hero, but more of like the offshoot heroes, the ones that are like, oh, we're the NPC characters. I actually worked with a company that actually has a comic, Blind Ferret, that actually has a comic called Non-Playable Character, that's all about the side characters from the main story. So it's one of my favorite comics to work on, because it's like you have all these additional side characters that don't get that screen time, but it's like, okay, let's give them some time. Let's develop their storylines. I love that. I love that.
Have you seen the NPC thing? Off topic. Sorry, guys.
Oh, like the YouTube
Where
videos?
he's got like the thing above his head.
I loved those. Those were so great.
Those are awesome. That's what made me think of. All right, cool. Thank you for your time. Where are these guys going to be able to find you after Sunday, after the con?
Of course. Yeah, my main site is lucaselliottart.com, so 2 L's, 2 T's for Elliot. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, just about anywhere. I live in Alaska, so it's a little hard for me to get down here, but find me online.
Come this way. Come this way. Keep recording. Because right there is what you need. Bam, look at that.
Oh, and look at that.
Look at that.
Right there. There I am.
All right, perfect. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You're the first creator. Hey, it's DM Doc coming back to you again, asking the question going around, and I have another unsuspecting victim. This is Adam. Adam, is it just Comfort and Adam? Is that what you call it?
Comfort and Adam.
I love that. It's so simple. I've had to memorize so much weird stuff. They do some comics some of you might have heard of. We got Rainbow in the Dark and Uniqueness. They are thick. I just noticed that.
Yeah.
So, whoa. Obviously, this is coming up before Comic-Con, so we'll get to let you plug something so people can hit you up later on. But I have a question for you. So, Adam,
This year is new.
do you play tabletop role-playing games?
Yes, I do.
Do they influence the comic book creation at all?
They do, in that as a GM, like since high school GM, I only get to play in games that I run. And so
I feel your pain.
Yes.
I really...
Right?
Yeah.
For once, I would like it not to all be on me. But where the crossover happens is if you want to make an engaging comic and if you want to make an engaging game for your players, it comes down to the same stuff. Story and characters you love. I tend to run games that are full of NPCs. I am very NPC heavy. Just because the more that the players connect to the characters, the more they care about what's happening. You know, if the players are willing to just off an NPC and loot the body, then I haven't done my job. I haven't made you care. And it's the same thing with a comic. If the audience is going to care about the story, they have to love the characters.
Okay.
You know, and they have to love the world that we're creating. So a lot of the same kind of toolbox when we do panels and seminars talking about world building and character creation, making good villains, making good plots that actually draw people in. We get a lot of DMs who come up to us in these panels and like, "Hi, I'm writing for D&D, or I'm building my own homebrew. How would I do this for a game? Is it the same? Is it different?" And it's almost always the same.
Okay. Do the comics ever influence the players playing the tabletop?
I think so. In that we all want to be the star of the story to some extent, you know? When everybody's sitting down at that table and we're designing our characters, there is a certain amount of, you know, we're all forming our own Avengers, right?
Okay.
We're all forming our own Justice League. And a lot of times the characters we imagine are influenced by the characters we love. And when you want to create somebody new, you are always thinking about, like, well, he's kind of like a little bit of this guy, a little bit of that guy, a little bit of Tony Stark by way of this other thing, you know. So I think all of us, creative people generally, and you've got to be a creative person to do tabletop. You know, tabletop gaming is for people that are too inside their own heads to enjoy a board game.
I'd like to be over on
And for all creative people, we are the sum of our influences. You know, we're the sum of our inspirations. We have seen things, we've absorbed things, we've been driven by stories, we love them, and we want to create stories too. We want to make characters too. We imagine ourselves in these worlds and we want to be a part of it. So I don't think there's any way that you can't be drawn out by the stuff that you've read, by the stuff you've seen and loved, and want to have like some bit of that in the characters you're making yourself.
Nice. I'll give you a couple seconds. Where can everybody find you online? Where can they look for you?
We try to make it easy. Comfort and Adam are everywhere you want to be. ComfortandAdam.com. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitch. Just look for Comfort and Adam and you will find us.
All right, so as he pans as always, I want to remind you to keep it nerdy. And like it great.
You may or may not have.
I have so many prints over now.
I want that to be on the Hi, it's David, DM Doc back here at Emerald City Comic Con Day 2, and we are here with Bill from Kinetic. We've done his comic on the show, but as you can see, he's got a couple more. So please check him out, give him some love. But continuing our question series for today, is I have a question for you, Bill, off the top, and I didn't warn him either, just like I did to Chris. Do you tabletop game? Stage one.
No, not too much. I used to a while ago, but I just have trouble finding the time for it now.
Okay. So I've noticed a lot of creators tabletop game.
Yep.
Did that influence you creating comic books, or is it more comic books influence you wanting to play tabletop?
It's about 50-50. Because there are a ton of creators. In fact, Jim Zub, who I know you guys know, Jim Zub, he's a huge fan of D&D and doing all that. With doing that and dungeon mastering and stuff like that, it lets you create a narrative, and it's a very good way to help if you're an aspiring writer to help what is good storytelling.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Bill, for your time. Guys, check out the episode. I don't remember what number it is. I'll put it in the log below once we get this up. But check out Kinetic. Where can they find you, Bill?
You can find me on ycomics.net. That's the letter Y, comics.net.
So for everybody over here, we want to say, read more comics, keep it nerdy, and live your dreams. Talk to you later.
Hi, this is Alex Poorman with Miniature Dragons, and I'm here with Sean from Material Components. And I have a question for you.
Sure.
So, I take it within your group, you do a lot of stuff with role-playing, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
So, normally we've been asking comic book creators, do they get inspired by role-playing books?
Sure,
So, I
sure.
guess here's a question for you. Are you inspired by comic books at all within part of your creation of your stories?
Totally.
Within things of that nature?
Yeah, man. I'm a pretty liberal stealer when it comes to ideas of from
No,
other
no.
media. So, I mean stealing in a good way.
You're borrowing.
Borrowing, yes.
You're borrowing.
Yeah. So I
Because
mean,
stealing is the wrong word.
yeah. I mean, there's so many good stories out there that have been written already, whether it's comics or movies or
Yes.
games. So I try to draw
So you
inspiration. from
liberate
anything.
you liberate these ideas.
Absolutely.
And you put a spin on them.
Exactly. If you didn't know, you might not know that it was from something else.
Yes,
but
yes.
yeah, we try to incorporate a little bit of other stuff in our games. We have a little bit of stuff from like Final Fantasy that we have. So we have some monsters from Final Fantasy
no.
and stuff that we play in our game. But
You're inspired by.
yeah, absolutely.
You're
But-
not stealing.
Yeah, but yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I'm all for good ideas are good ideas, no matter where they came from. So
Absolutely.
whether it's comic books or movies or TV shows, if it's a good idea and if it's a cool story and it helps me tell the story that we're trying to tell, then yeah, absolutely.
What personal game engine or series do you do majority? Like, is it Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah, we play at my table. We play 5th edition D&D like most people,
Fantastic.
but I have a little bit of experience with 4th. I actually started playing 4th edition D&D.
Boo.
Yeah, nobody likes 4th edition, but it was the current edition when we started playing, and we didn't know any better. So
Hey, it got you into role playing.
it did,
And
I'll be
doing-
honest, we had a ton of fun with it. Again, we didn't really know any better. We didn't know that there was earlier editions that everybody loved more. So we played it for 3 or 4 years, and we had a blast. And it's gotten us into D&D. It helped me like get more friends into D&D and stuff like that. So yeah.
So within all those experiences from your 4th edition, and going into a good edition 5th, so let's talk a little bit about what you actually do with this.
Yeah, absolutely. So our product is called Hero Book. It's a notebook that's basically designed to take all the stuff that you need while playing a game of D&D and sort of compress it into one place. So we have a reusable character sheet here on the inside front cover. This is laminated, so you can use wet and dry erase markers. You wipe it down, erase it. You don't have to reprint your character sheet after you level up or like scribble all over your old one. If you're like me, my character sheet is always a massive mess after like 2 sessions. That really cuts down on that. We also have a reusable note page in the back for that's just blank. And then inside the book is everything that you need to reference during a game. So we have quick references for the stuff you use most often. We have full rules for your race, your class, combat, spellcasting. Much nicer than trying to share one player's handbook with 5 people at the table. You've got a copy of the rules on hand. And then it's a notebook, so plenty of space at the back of the book for notes and maps and sketches. We've got lines and grids for different kinds of maps. Yeah, isometric dots for maps as well. They're a very tough archival sewn binding, which is very, very strong and lays totally flat. The book is made of 100% post-consumer recycled and sustainably sourced paper, and it's printed in a carbon-neutral facility in Vancouver, so it's very friendly for the environment as well.
Fantastic.
And you have a Kickstarter.
Yes, we do. We just launched a Kickstarter for our second product, which is the GM edition of the same book. So same basic idea, but obviously rewritten for the Game Master. So instead of a character sheet, it's got a party tracker. Instead of character building information, it's got world building tools, and it's a little bit bigger. It's got more room for notes. So that is Hero Book GM. It's live on Kickstarter right now. We're 165% funded, so it's getting made.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. We got about 2.5 weeks left in the campaign, so still lots of time to get on board.
Very good. This is Alexius Poorman with Miniature Dragons, and this is Sean from
Material Components.
So definitely check out their Kickstarter, and happy nerding, and get a great sheet to help your characters out.
Hey, it's CM Doc, and I'm back asking creators around the same question I've been asking all weekend. Today we have some of the guys from Endless Realms who want to pan the books and stuff. This is an actually great system. My understanding is it can be level or just buy-in, right? That's what I was talking to Christy about.
Well, it is a level-based system, but essentially the way we've created it is a way that you can go through different types. If you want to do like a dungeon crawl, you want to do social war, absolutely.
People are saying hi while we're doing it.
Yeah, no, like it's great. You can actually, there's many different ways to play, and we talk about that in the book, the different ways you can actually play the game. It doesn't just have to be like a typical, dungeon run adventure, or I sit there and I role play. We make it literally run the gambit so that it's customizable for everyone else.
So, since you've created a game, this is reverse from my normal question, because I usually ask the comic book guys this. So my first question for you is, do you read comic books? Not religiously, but those are ones that you follow quite a bit.
A long time ago when I was younger, I was into DC. I don't do it as much now. One, I don't have much time because I spend all my time doing things like this. And two, I've kind of fallen out of the superhero universe. It's much more cool when you're a kid, right? It's like, oh, superheroes, they're so awesome. And now it's like, oh, fantasy. I wish I could throw magic missiles in the air and shoot stuff, right? Like, superheroes are almost old hat to me. It's like, this is, to me, I feel like we're in the golden age of RPGs nowadays. There's so many good, one of the beautiful things I say about, like, for example, Dungeons & Dragons, I say, I love D&D and I hate D&D, but I love D&D because it's made it possible for all of us to do what we love, right? So, and that is the most glorious thing to me is these kind of games that we make, that indie developers make, we've benefited so much from the resurgence and like renaissance of tabletop gaming.
So when you were a kid, did you play RPGs?
Yes.
So we're not going to be talking in this round. We're going to plug them for you.
No, that's
but
cool.
So we really
do they relate for you? Did you create characters off of comic books, or did you get into D&D because comic books inspired you to want to play?
Getting into gaming actually came about from reading books. I used to read back when Dragonlance and stuff was around, right?
Great series. Yes.
Great series. Tracy and Margaret, amazing writers. I can't talk enough about how that influenced me in terms of just wanting to play games. The Forgotten Realms lore too, Ed Greenwood and R.A. Salvatore. Those are all authors I used to read a bunch, and that's what really got me into gaming. So for me, it was as a transition from reading the fantasy stories and into creating and playing games.
I'm a lot like you. So we'll give you a couple seconds. Plug. Where can they find you? Where can they see you? Go back to him.
Absolutely. So we are actually on both DriveThruRPG and Amazon. One of the things I love about Endless Realms is it is in fact for anybody. It's easy to play, it's easy to learn, but it is also amazingly complex. We went away from your typical Tolkien-esque races. We wanted to do something completely different, and then that's one of the things we love about our game is the unique feel of the actual high fantasy, right? It's something out there that we think people won't have seen before. I mean, for example, we have the Animancer there. That's a character who uses life and death energy, right? So, and one of the great things about their mechanics is if you delve too far into one, you may gain powers towards, like, if you're casting death magic all the time, you gain more and more power of death magic, but you end up cursed from the life end of the spectrum and you're harmed in that sense. So if you're keeping balance, it's actually the best for you, but there are times where it may benefit you to delve deeper into one area, right? So again, another thing about our world is I think it's all about balance. Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to come through. There's a couple of the different races. That's the Calamir. Actually, somewhat inspired from kind of almost Diablo lore in a lot of ways, because they come from a world called Eternitus, which is essentially a world of heaven and hell, if you think about it, but it's not really what we would consider heaven and hell. It's more of like light and dark, because the world doesn't spin, so one side of the world's always light and the other side's always dark, and it's affected the races there. And those Calamir are actually the combination and union of those races, and they kicked them out of the world because they're at a constant war and they were afraid they would tilt the balance.
So, I want you guys to do is just remember we're asking this question. This is great. This is great because it's the first time somebody did a comic book one. I love the novel thing. I'm kind of the same. Check these guys out. Don't just game when everybody's doing it popular. This is a great system. My understanding is you need 2d10 and it does everything in the book.
Because it's all comparative rolls.
So, as always, DM Doc, Alex, and everybody down here, keep it nerdy and live your dreams.